we're gonna revisit one of our classic chicken recipes called Dakdoritang. It's spicy braised chicken. It's also known as Dakbokkeumtang. It's one of the best ways to get familiar with Korean spice. So we're gonna play with gochugaru and gochujang. This was actually one of the first recipes that I made like 2 years ago when we first started our YouTube channel. So here's version 2 of Dakdoritang. I think it tastes roughly 2 pounds of chicken, plus or minus whatever you feel like. I'm using a whole chicken, but if you're just feeling like drumsticks, just bang away on the drums. Or a combination of drumsticks and thighs, that works nice. But don't just do chicken wings, the small chicken wings, because it's not enough meat, you know. We need some meat for this one. All right, so with your chicken, if you see some pieces with just a lot of skin hanging off of it, we can trim that portion off. And then you see that goopy part? This is kind of the fat on the chicken. Sometimes it's more of a yellowish color. We want to trim that off so that our broth doesn't get too oily. And just go through each piece. Then we're gonna grab some milk. I think this is the first time I've bought milk in 2 years, yeah. Just pour enough to cover. There's lactic acid that tenderizes the meat. It also removes that poultry smell out from the meat, so you don't get that very like chickeny smell when you bite into it. And we'll let this soak in this milk for 30 minutes. 10 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm purposely not using cups because I want to be a little bit more exact. That's 1 and 10. 4 tablespoons of gochujang. Good. That's 1. All right, that's 4. Then 2 tablespoons of gochugaru, Korean red chili pepper flakes, and 2. Now, that looks like a whole lot of pain in a bowl, so we gotta balance it out with some sweetness. 6 tablespoons of honey, that's 1, and number 6. And then we're gonna add some sweetness that has some body. Grate half an onion into this. Close your eyes, let's drop this in. Then 1 tablespoon of rice wine, mirin, or use any white cooking wine. 5 cloves of garlic. That's about 1 tablespoon's worth. Drop that in there. A few shakes of black pepper. Oh yeah. Then give this a nice mix. Slight taste. Oh, it just brings out that taktoritang, that classic flavor. For my dakbokkeumtang, I like to take scoops of the broth and then put it over my rice like curry. And so I want just a slightly deeper taste. And for that, you can make anchovy kelp broth. If you have these broth packets, perfect time to use it. Just drop it in. I had around 2.5 cups of water in there. In the meanwhile, 4 medium-sized potatoes. Each one is about the size of my palm. We want to peel these first. The key thing here is don't cut this into small pieces. We want to maybe cut this in half because you want to break this apart as you eat it. It's the fun part. So, okay, very good. Uh-oh, hot dog. Then about a finger length of carrot. Just rough chops. Koreans have this thing of adding chili peppers to already spicy foods. It's a form of machismo. And a forearm length of spring onion. And finally, let's chop up 1 onion. Just rough chops. And you look to the right, anchovy kelp broth is ready. This should be around 2 cups of broth. That's 1 cup. And 2 full cups of broth. But Daniel, I don't have those broth packets, but I want to make this. Can I just use water? Y-E-S. Now the chicken had enough time in the spa. Let's drain out this milk and importantly, wash off the milk under running water. We'll put our rinsed chicken pieces in. Then bless it with that anchovy kelp broth or water. Then grab your Nobel Peace Prize winning sauce. Oh yes. And just, yes. No words needed. Then bring this up to a boil on high heat. And once it comes up to boil, yes, we're gonna skim this off later, but more importantly, add in those big chunks of potato now. It needs some time to cook. I haven't been this excited about a recipe in a long time. Mix it in. Let's pop a lid on this. Oh no, It's not big enough. Oh, I'm gonna get a dead arm. 30 minutes on medium heat. We need 30 minutes. All right, and look at this mess that little gap has created. Strangely enough, it has collected all of the kind of stuff that floats up to the top on the top of this lid. So halfway in, open the lid, then scooch the pieces over, give it a mix. And then you see that there's oil from the chicken here. I'm gonna skim the surface, take that off. That's how you defat the soup. All right, and then I'm gonna just let this reduce now without the lid. If you have a good fitting lid, you can put it back on, no problem. All right, after 30 minutes, now we're gonna add in our vegetables. We'll put in our onions, our carrots, and then our chili peppers as well. I'll save our spring onions for the last part. Then let's give it about 5 minutes, and these vegetables would add even more flavor into this. Let's give the broth a try. It's amazing. Normally the soup is a little bit more red, but remember when I put the lid on, it took off all the gochugaru as well. But when you make it at home, it's gonna be a little bit more red. Put this in. Oh my gosh. And then I told you my favorite part. You're gonna see that this is a break apart potato. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. You can drizzle some of the sauce on top like that. And voila, there it is, guys. Alright, this is the key test. You gotta take a sip of the broth. Oh my gosh, that's drinkable. Put that in a shaker and let go. Get a piece of the potato, put it on top, get a little bit of that sauce over it, mash it into your rice, and this is your appetizer. Alright, now what I've been waiting for. I mean, words can't explain that. All that flavor in there. Guys, this is just beautiful. I mean, next to fried chicken, probably the second best way to eat chicken. One key cooking tip, let it fully reduce. So for 30 minutes, don't take it off the stove early. Let all of the juices, all that flavor come together. And then after you put the carrots in, give it another 10 minutes. And after that, you get a symphony. Like just exactly.